I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all know who we are, Paragon Studios, where we have 7 Magazine, Ink Magazine, On Point Publications, and VA Skate. Right now, we're down at Drew's Tattoo, top shop here over in Hampton, making big moves. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get me another tattoo today. We're going to start the tattoo, let you see what we're going through to get started, and then we're going to show you how it's going throughout the process all the way to the end. So sit back and relax and enjoy.
See how to do it, the full process. You know, everybody's watching is trying to copy their style or learn stuff
really?
from them. Yeah, see, years ago, the tattoo industry was very secretive. It's really hard to get into. I mean, I'm talking 20, 30 years ago. Unless you knew somebody, or your dad was a tattoo artist, or your uncle, you know, you were either friends with these people and got into the business, or you tried to learn on your own. And you can't just learn tattooing on your own. You got to be taught something. I guess one of the other things, I try and discourage some of these young guys and girls alike from getting stuff on their hands and their neck at age 18 or 21. You know, you got to really think about the rest of your life. You're going to be discriminated against if you got a tattoo on your neck or your hand.
Right.
I'm 53. I don't care if I got a tattoo on my neck, and I work in a tattoo shop and own a tattoo shop. I'm tattooed.
Right.
You know, it doesn't bother me, but I still get discriminated against for it. Are you scared? There's really nothing to be scared about. I think the most important thing is to be really sure that you want to wear this for the rest of your life.
How have you been tattooing?
I did my first tattoo on myself in the early 80s. That's really where I started practicing. I learned how, this was way before the legalization of it, especially here in Virginia. I learned how from a friend of mine how to make a homemade tattoo machine.
Really?
Yeah, from a cassette motor out of a Walkman radio. So we sat around in our bedroom one day and built this little machine, and I had to try it on somebody. He didn't want me to try it on him. So I did it to myself, and it's actually, the tattoo's under this one, but it was the 4 suits of the cards, the ace, the club, the heart, and the diamond. Just, you know, the typical jailhouse looking tattoo. But I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I walk around, yeah, look at my new tattoo. You know, John, whatever. So I always liked to draw. I started drawing as a very small child. My mom used to set me at the kitchen table while she was working in the kitchen, throw paper in front of me and colored pencils, and say, "Here, Drew, color me a picture." So I draw space aliens and all this. I designed my own little spaceships and space scooters and stuff like that. I was always able to draw whatever I could see in my mind, which really helps for any artist. If you can see it in your mind first, it's just like sitting there looking at it. I sit here, it'll be 2 years next month.
Congratulations.
For a business myself, I don't know how much money it's going to be. One of the reasons why I'm doing this. It's just right now with the economy and being close to Christmas this time of year, everybody's spending their money on other things than personal luxury items, because basically it is a luxury item. You don't really need a tattoo like you need toilet paper.
You're right.
But it's atypical for the industry. Around Christmas, it's slow, but when tax season starts, like February, into January and February, it really picks up because people have extra money. And I think above anything, I just like to do something and be able to sit back and say, look, I did that. You know, it's tangible. You can see it. It's right there. It's going to last forever. I think the personalization part of it, whereas I can take whatever idea you got in your head, get it out of your head and get it onto your arm. It's just me and my wife right now. It's nobody else. She doesn't tattoo, but I I do all the tattooing, and she helps me with all the business end of it. I just like to be able to make people happy. They like what they see. They look at their arm style,
Right,
It's beautiful.
right,
I love it.
right.
I look at it all the time. I look at a lot of my tattoos now, even though most of them are pretty old. I'm not really ashamed of any of the tattoos I got, except for one on my back. And the only reason I'm not happy with that because it really messed up my idea of what I'd really like to do. I kind of jumped the gun. That's another thing. You don't want to jump the gun on a tattoo. You want to think it all the way through.
So the good thing about coming to someone like you is, you know, if anything was to happen, you're insured.
Yeah.
You know,
And liable.
and you're not one of those guys where say, you know what, live with it, so be it. That's what it is.
Right.
And that's very important, y'all, because there are a lot of back in the wood tattoo guys who, if anything happens, if you catch anything from those dirty needles and things, you SOL, pretty much.
Yeah, because it's illegal to tattoo without a license in Virginia. And if you participated in committing a crime, you can't sue the other people who were active.
Right.
Y'all both will participate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You sit down and let somebody unlicensed tattoo you, you just assisted them in committing a crime, so you can't sue them for it.
I will.
They can put anything they want on you.
Right. I will tell you this. Anybody that tattoos in the state of Virginia should have this posted on their workstation because it says right on it you must post it there. And that is a license from the state of Virginia to do this. That means you met certain qualifications and requirements laid down by the state to follow as guidelines in the health department in tattooing. Mm-hmm. Right?
You were properly trained.
Right. You
Passed the
and
exam.
trained and tested and went through a 2-year apprenticeship, which requires an awful lot. It requires a log book and a log of all the tattoos you've done, 1,500 hours in bloodborne pathogen training, cross-contamination, things like that. That all these people that do them in their kitchens and garages and whatever, they don't have that training. They don't even know what cross-contamination is. Some of them may. I mean, I did tattoos without being licensed, of course, but the licensing only came about in the last 10 years. You know, this was 30 years ago when there was no licensing. But we still were, you know, careful about what we did. We didn't reuse needles. You know, alcohol does not sterilize needles, by the way. But we use pre-sterilized from the factory, individually wrapped and sealed in autoclave, one-time use only needles. These tubes are surgical stainless steel that run through a hospital-grade autoclave that I have in the back. They also clean with a high-intensity ultrasonic cleaner, which gets down into the really small micro porous, anything that's really, really small that could get into a crack or anything. These ultrasonic cleaners get it out, and then you sterilize them after that. It's the same procedure that all hospitals and doctors use for their instruments, you know, their tools. Because you can't throw away, I mean, you can throw away the needles, but you can't throw away the things doctors use, you know, like the forceps and all that kind of stuff. They reuse them, but they sterilize. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's surgical steel, which is the highest grade.
Well, that's good to know.
Right.
I know I'm in a clean shop, guys. Really, that's very important. Really, very important. I mean, it's good to have a good artist who could come up with some of your dreams on your arm and your backs and things, but to know that the shop is actually taking care of all the procedures that they need to take care of, that's awesome. Awesome. And this tattoo thing, don't let nobody tell you it don't hurt. Don't let nobody tell you that. In real life, it stings a little bit. I think it's more of the constant.
It's the aggravation.
Yeah, that's what it is
like,
more than anything.
Are you ever going to get done?
It's like when you scrape your knee, it burns a little bit.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes after this is done, you won't even be thinking that. It'll just
Yeah.
Or like when the pain shoots up.
It'll just be a little bit sore. And if somebody hits it, it'll be a little bit sore, but you won't even think
It's just
about
like
it.
when you spin your knee.
There.
Ooh,
That
woo.
part feels good.
Yes, sir. I love when they put that cleaning solution on there. What is that solution?
Green soap. It's hospital green soap. All of it's soap and water.
Smells good.
Yeah.
That's my new tattoo. What y'all think? Y'all gotta come down and check Drew out. He's off the chain. He's doing really big things, and he's been doing it for a long time. So if you're looking for someone who has history and know what they're doing, definitely come and check him out. Definitely come check him out.
Yeah, come check me out. Now, here's the important part. How to take care of your new tattoo.
Very important.
Yes. Because if anything's going to happen to it, you're going to do it to it. Because it's clean right now. The object is to keep this bandage on for about an hour or so. Take it off, then wash your hands. Rinse your hands off so now your hands are clean and you don't have the dirty soap, you know, from cleaning your hands. Soap back up again. Wash your tattoo just with your clean hand and soap and water. Like Dial antibacterial soap is what I recommend. Anything that's unscented, not a heavy fragrance soap, like Irish Spring or something, don't use that.
Guys, we'd like to thank y'all for coming in, checking us out. We'll see y'all here shortly. Thank you.